This is a Podco original.
The 2009 Disney Channel graphics strike back because gosh darn.
There was a lot. The fact that Alex didn't want to read.
Oh,
was
they had a
very
huge problem
interesting.
with that.
Yeah.
We fix it later.
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
The Wizard's lore, ladies and gentlemen. I love how deep we're going into this, about a 22-minute children's show.
We're doing this episode, and Rob Reiner is sitting in the audience.
He was your guest, right?
Well,
Woo, David DeLuise.
well, hello,
Here,
Jen
come here,
Stone.
come
Hold
here.
on, I can't.
No,
Oh, you need me to?
No,
you
no,
need to
I
fix
gotta,
me?
I gotta fix
What?
it.
Okay,
Come
I'm
here,
coming
come
in.
here.
I'm coming in.
Coming in. I can't get up my skirt short, so I have to reach.
Is it
There we
here?
go. Yeah, it's a hair.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. I think it's a Tony hair.
Hold on, it's
Are
so
you
bright
sa-
in
you're-
here.
are you
I have to
salesmaning
put on
already?
my Bigfoot Cafe hat.
Oh my
Hold on.
God. You're fucking.
No, you know what? Listen, if you had a Bigfoot Cafe, you would then tell everybody
Why-
that you can go to thebigfoot.com and you can, buy merchandise if you
Yeah.
want, or coffee
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything. We'll
No,
ship
the
it
coffee
to
is
you.
really good. I really enjoy it. You just mention it every episode.
You know what, though? It's my job, Jen.
It's his job. It's his job. Yeah. Cheers. Cheers to that.
Cheers
Bigfoot
to Jen
Cafe.
Stone.
No, I think nobody's cheersing to that.
And to
Okay.
cattle prawns.
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
That was before we started rolling. We were talking about stuff.
Because I'm from Texas. Okay, so season 2, episode 16, Future Harper, originally aired March 15th, 2009, written by Matt Goldman and Peter Murrieta, who's a big
When you first,
big friend of the pod.
yes, when you,
Directed by Bob Coher.
Bob Coher, who is amazing. And when you first saw this title,
Yeah.
what did you think? Did you have an impression? Did you have a thought like, ooh, this is going to be that? Or
I mean,
what?
I was excited because there were some episodes, and I think I've talked about this before, called that I would call Knucking Futz episodes. And it's from David Spade did a movie called Dickie Roberts' Child Star.
I know he's humping his sister.
That wasn't what I was referring
But
to.
isn't that
but
what
okay.
it is in that? Oh, no, that's where Joe Dirt.
That's
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, that's different. That was not what I was referencing at 14.
Sorry. So he played a child star.
He played a child star, and his catchphrase was Knucking Futz,
Right.
which was so funny because it was fucking nuts backwards, inverted, whatever.
Right.
And it was on pillows and stuff. And so he'd come in the sitcom and say, oh, Knucking Futz, and then he'd leave. So my joke was, oh, this is a Knucking Futz episode. So an episode where I would come in and have one line or something and then leave.
Right.
So I was excited for episodes like Harper Knows or Future Harper because I had more to do. I had more to play with. I knew that I was going to get to collaborate with our team more. And it was harder to be funny when you're only given a line or two. And that's why I look at some of our guest stars like Fred Stoller and what a challenge that can be of you're only given this much time to be funny and serve the story and do all these things.
And if you mess up, then it's
Bye-bye. Yeah.
it's Knucking Futz.
Knucking Futz. Hey. But no, so when I saw episodes like this, I was excited because I had more to play with.
Yeah.
So we start out, and Max is, they're not really clear if it's his 13th or 14th birthday. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's a birthday. Because
Right.
then in the episode after, pretty quickly after this, they talk about him being 13, no 14, because he's trying to go on a date that Justin's going to chaperone.
Right.
But they are not very clear about his age. So this is either his 13th or 14th birthday. We're not sure.
And we start off with the three kids in a raft on a lava
Yes.
thing, and their paddles burn, but the raft is
Doesn't.
fine.
Burn. Interesting. Wasn't there a movie called, it was kind of in the Twister era, but it was called Volcano. Did you ever see it?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a volcano erupted in LA.
Yeah,
or
but I
something,
remember
right?
I remember it because I also have to find the clip, but there was because lava's slow, right?
Yeah, but it caught up to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, so were zombies.
No. If
Well,
you look at
I mean,
Walking Dead, or if you look at 28 Days Later,
Yeah. But some zombie
modern
movies.
zombies.
In the show, the zombie movie. I mean, the show zombie. What is it?
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
They didn't walk fast.
But hordes could get you. Right?
What's a horde?
A horde is a bunch of zombies at once. So
Yeah,
that
but if you can fucking run, then you can get away.
No, not unless. So let's say there's a horde. Don't get me into zombie politics. I'll fucking go there. No, but if there's a big group here and a big group here, you're in the middle. Where are you going to run?
To the left
no,
or
because then
right?
there's a bigger, because that's what happened to them all the time. Is they'd get stuck in a building or they'd get cornered or whatever, and there'd be a large group and they hear each other, and then it draws a crowd,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. Is because they get outnumbered because the whole world became zombies.
Right.
Like I said, I love a zombie genre, so don't get me started. Anyway, so the movie Volcano, I just remember there being one clip where they have this big dramatic scene. This guy's like slow motion walking, and of course he dies in the lava in like this horrible dramatic death. But it's like had this whole conversation with this person while the lava was like coming up behind him and he wasn't going anywhere.
All he had to do was briskly walk away.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure in real life it's much more complicated. Okay, so Alex uses a spell before we see this volcano blow, turn this lava into snow, and the trio goes to the substation as all the lava turns into snow. This is another, the 2009 Disney Channel graphics strike back because gosh darn.
It was a lot.
I love that I'm saying the F word like it's going out of style, but I'm like, gosh darn it.
Gosh.
Good golly.
And it's so interesting. I mean, I guess I understand this, but you can't say, oh, God.
Oh, on Disney? No,
Yeah.
you can't say, oh my God.
It's always, oh, gosh. Right?
Well, that's because you have to like appeal to like middle America.
Right. Of course, I get it. It's interesting. Sorry, Jen.
Are you farting or are you yawning?
I was
What's
yawning
happening?
on the inside. In the beginning of this episode, you and Selena are putting out napkin dispensers.
We are. And this is one of the napkin dispensers that I
is
have
one
on
of the
the
napkin
tray.
dispensers.
Look at that.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Hello?
Oh my God.
Yeah?
Oh my God.
Selena. Yeah? Yeah, I'm doing the pod with Jen. Yeah, I'm not available.
I can't.
Hello?
Ridiculous. Put that back. Let's get back to the episode. All right. So we're in the middle of telling Harper, Alex is in the middle of telling Harper the story of what happened. Harper finishes the story. Wait. Alex is telling Harper the story.
And you finish it with, and then you sat down with a polar bear.
Thank you. I've seen this episode, I swear. So yeah, she goes, oh yeah, the snow and the whatever, and making Alex believe that she's already told her this story, but she couldn't have because that just happened. And then she's turning into a grandma. Harper then reveals that she read the same exact story in the new book by H.J. Darling, a parody of J.K. Rowling, in the Charmed and Dangerous books, to which the story of the Lost Wand, there are 7, which of course parallels J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, which there are also 7.
Which I'm not a fan of hers anymore because, she's not very nice with her beliefs and stuff, and that's not cool. But I fucking love Harry Potter.
I know. She created a really great universe.
Yeah, it was, so detailed.
Well,
right?
but it's
What?
tricky. It's tricky because
You don't like Harry Potter?
No, I do like Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
I'm not like diehard. I'm not like I'm Gryffindor till I die or whatever. Like that's not my like. Thing.
To all
I'm
the Harry
sorry.
Potter fans, I apologize for Jen Stone.
I'm sorry. I'm on.
I'm
one today.
Gryffindor
I'm
till I
Gryffindor
die.
till I die. Look at my, till the end or whatever the little Deathly Hallows symbol is that everybody got tattooed for 5 seconds. Okay. Dude, the comments are gonna rip me a new asshole.
I did not tattoo
Whatever.
myself Harry Potterish.
All right, so Alexon reveals she hasn't heard of the books and that she doesn't read, not because she can't, because she doesn't want to. Harper believes that Alex is illiterate, and she doesn't even read the menus. She has that line. She's like, I don't even read the menus.
Which, by the way, right behind you is the Waverly substation menu that I stole from the set.
He stole it. He's a thief.
Anybody, everybody.
Justin then says he will read the book to see if she stole their story since Alex doesn't read or chooses not to.
And it's interesting because on Disney Channel or Disney or whatever, they don't want to, the fact that Alex didn't want to read.
Oh,
was
they had a
very
huge problem
interesting.
with that.
Yeah.
We fix it later. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We fix it. Yeah. So while in the lair,
I was
you were a big part of that.
Big part
Wouldn't
of the
have existed
fix.
quite the same.
Yeah.
Without D. DeLuise. While in the lair, Justin confirms that she did steal the story because in her books, the kids go to a crazy 10-minute sale, get stuck in a movie, the brother turns invisible, and they pour orange soda into a genie's lamp. And then Justin, or David,
which
whatever,
was an old episode that we had done, which was clever that they did that.
But he talks about the fictional character he would write for himself, which is Surge with an eye patch, a British accent, and bejeweled cane. If you were to write for yourself a fictional character, what would it be?
This episode of Wizards of Waverly Pod is brought to you by Lumen.
What is Lumen? Lumen is the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath. And on the app, it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs. It gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, workouts, sleep, and even stress management. All you have to do is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. Then, Lumen gives you a personalized nutrition plan for the day based on your measurements, which I find very helpful. My metabolism is at the center of everything my body does. Metabolic health translates to a bunch of benefits, including easier weight management, improving my energy levels, better fitness results, better sleep, which is something that I struggle with, and Lumen has really helped me get better sleep. So if you want to take the next steps in improving your health, go to lumen.me/wizards to get 15% off your Lumen. That's lumen.me/wizards for 15% off your purchase.
What would be some of your traits?
Macho man. A fictional, someone who, I don't know. That's a
Does he have a kid? Does he have a peg leg? Does he have a cape? Does he have, give me some traits. Give me like 3 attributes.
The ability to scratch the center of his back.
Oh my God.
The attribute would be that he could walk without making a sound.
Oh, why?
Because then you can then
you can sneak up on people?
Yeah.
Why do you want to do that?
A little sneaky.
A little sneaky sneak.
I'm trying to think out of the box. What would your trait be?
Well, again, I ask questions I don't have answers to. I would want to be Irish or Scottish because that's a fun accent. I would be very mysterious. I would leave rooms before anyone noticed. I'd be talking to someone, they'd look away and then look back and I'd be gone.
Well, that's my thing. It works for that. You walk out quietly.
Oh, I have it. So, and we could be a duo. Are you ready? Because we already are.
Okay.
Mine would be a superhero called the Irish Goodbye.
Oh, right. Because
I just leave without saying anything.
Isn't it a French exit where you leave and people don't know? I mean,
every culture has their version.
Why is that called a French exit?
I don't know. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
Let us know.
I've always heard the Irish Goodbye.
You've never heard French exit?
No.
Interesting. My dad used to if in order to let the group know that he was ready to go without saying I want to go, he would use the name Zelda in a sentence.
I like that.
Did Zelda call you? No, I don't know.
And then they're like, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
GTFO.
right, exactly.
GTFO, baby. Okay. So Harper knows where they can find HJ Darling because of her family's private investigator, that she lives in an abandoned paint your dish warehouse.
But why did you hired a private investigator?
Because my dad went missing.
Because your dad went missing.
I love Harper's backstories. They're really fun.
And in the later, you have a fish. You have a fish on your forehead, like a pretend fish.
On my head.
And then later that becomes,
real fish.
Right.
So yeah, because modern Harper or current Harper has like the big, like whatever fish headband, and then she's a fishbowl with real fish in it,
right?
As the future Harper. And I'm guessing the paint your dish is like color me mine. That would be my guess.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Which, by the way, it still exists, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so and they find her dad. He was just sleeping in the car, if anyone was worried. Then they use the IPP to go to an abandoned paint or dish warehouse.
You said it, Jen. IPP. UPP, IPP,
and Max loses his mind over the IPP.
It was really made me laugh. I thought it was very funny. And then there's a on set, we would, and Victor Gonzalez we would say this. If you do that, you said do.
Yeah. We're all mature. We're very mature adults. So they go to the abandoned paint or dish warehouse that H.J. Darling lives in. Justin twists his ankle on re-entry. There they meet a grown woman played by Rachel Dratch who knows all of their names, how to cook boy salad, wears a fishbowl with a fish in it as a hat, and teaches you scrapbooking and makes snickerdoodles with Red Hots. So the Russo kids realize that H.J. Darling is Harper from the future. The adult Harper has come from the future with the help of a very powerful wizard. Did they ever say who that was? She just like alludes to a very powerful wizard. I don't know if that was supposed to be like who won the contest or what.
I don't know. That they didn't really explain that.
Yeah.
I for some reason, just in my mind, I was like, well,
who the fuck's that?
That could be Alex in the future, right?
That was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So she writes about the secrets that Alex has told her because in the future, writing about magic is not that big of a deal because everyone knows about wizards and magic because someone in this room has a big mouth and Max is like, well, all right, it's probably me.
I know, right. But now, so her age in the future would determine how much into the future
we're going. Yeah.
That everybody knows about
magic. Yeah.
Right.
But there was an episode at the end of season 3 that the Russos reveal magic to the world, but then they find out it's all like fake reality where it's like the wizard world was just testing them. So it has to be Max because Alex and Justin both passed the test, but they never really talk about Max. I'm guessing Max fails. So he's the one that releases it to the world.
I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted.
The wizard's lore, ladies and gentlemen. The wizard's lore.
You really went down the
I went down the rabbit hole, baby. That's what my little research is for.
Did you like the set of future Harper? Because it was very colorful.
It was very colorful, which fit. It was also, I liked that we just have pottery. The only thing to me, I'm like, to sell that it's abandoned, maybe some broken pottery would make more sense.
True.
You know what I mean? It was very clean, but Harper's together.
And
so.
You had said when we had Rachel on the pod that that she was like studying you, that you guys were talking.
Oh, it was tripping me out because I've been an SNL fan and of that generation specifically with like Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Will Ferrell, like genius. All those people. Like such a golden age of SNL. So I was geeking out really hard. So the fact that she was asking me questions and watching me do things was very like out of body strange for me. It was super cool. I still it still blows my mind. But yeah, definitely 15-year-old Jen was just like, couldn't handle it. It was so just meta.
Did you come and watch the film those scenes?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so
Alex gets very mad that she
she told
using.
Well, do you think that's valid?
Well,
I had mixed feelings.
It helped the story that she
Sure.
How does it affect Alex in a negative way that she's, like I told you that in confidence, And I guess the justification is that everybody knows about wizards, so she's not exposing anything. Well, fucking Alex lied to you your entire relationship until you found out. You know what I mean? Like, how about that? You could have been like, point. You know what, Alex? You've lied to me for primarily the law, for the whole time.
I don't think that she's lying to her because like current Harper doesn't know about it. I think it's more of the fact that she told her to keep the secret and she didn't. I think that's the problem. Yeah. But at the time, but also too, if Max. I don't know. To me, it like didn't really connect for me just because if Max gave it up, Alex at the time would accept that and it's just normal and it's fine. So wouldn't that make future Alex's life easier?
Right. But current Alex is
mad.
Is the one who's
but also
negatively.
It's high school and you get mad over stuff. You can't see the big picture. Right. So I'll buy that.
Are there certain people in your life that you know that you can tell a secret to and they'll keep it, and certain people that you don't?
1000%.
Yeah, because sometimes in a certain group of people, I was like, I'll do a little test. Mm-hmm. And I said something to this person, and of course it went out everywhere.
Sure.
And
people love a little gossip.
You can kind of tell when someone says to you, don't tell anyone, but blah, 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 that person typically can't keep a secret.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're saying don't do that. And if somebody now says to me, don't tell anybody, I'm like, well, don't tell me.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, because if you don't tell me to everybody and I'm don't say anything, but somebody else does, you're going to think it's me.
That's true.
You know,
That's a good point.
I don't want your secret.
I think with Alex, it's twofold. It's one, it's the fact that she asked her to not say anything and she did. But then not only did she say something, she also wrote about their life without her permission.
Right.
Like, I think that would piss anybody off, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, listen, once that's out there, I'm not thinking about this episode now. I'm just thinking about that talking about what somebody has told you in confidence.
Yeah.
You know. Sorry.
People are tricky. That's the moral of the story. People are challenging and hard and tricky, and oh my God. Okay, so Alex becomes very angry, which we were just talking about, that she didn't give Harper permission to use her story. She leaves, and Harper gives Justin the mission to convince Alex to let Harper use her story, making him a futurenaut. Alex is then mad at current Harper because of what future Harper has done. Harper becomes mad at Alex for being mad at her and not telling her why, and then they stop talking. Very high school.
Yeah, and interesting. That's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I'm mad at you because I don't know why you're mad at me, and you're mad at me because something future me did. It's a mess.
It's so. I mean, look, I'm taking it into real life now. Some people are like, "I'm mad at you," and I'm not going to tell you why I'm mad at you. And you're like,
I'm not a mind reader. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself with dating, because everyone knows I'm a dating expert. But about the fact that I'm like, I can't just assume he knows how I feel or what I'm thinking. Like, I have to at least be able to.
But how about everybody?
Everybody, yeah.
Right?
I was going to make a joke, and I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
My mom would be so sad.
All
Okay.
right.
I'll tell you later. All right. So Harper becomes mad. Everybody's mad. Everybody's mad at everybody. Justin, due to his scratch cornea, is looking more and more like Serge, his fictional version of himself, with an eye patch, a bejeweled cane, and he tries to convince Alex to read one of Harper's books, telling her that they are mostly about the many adventures that she and Harper will have together in the future. Alex chooses to give reading a chance, I guess.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that means that if it's an adventure that you both went on, it's also your experience.
Yeah.
You can share that then, you know?
Yeah. But I think it's also too of like telling other people's stories that like they might not want told. So it's like she never got her permission. I think it just feels like, I love how deep we're going into this about a 22-minute children's show. But I think it's the fact that like it's her experiences as well, and that she didn't ask.
Right.
Sometimes it's just nice to be asked.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It's nice to be asked to the party. It's nice to be asked to use your life rights. It's nice to be asked.
No, I have a question.
Yeah.
If somebody's super famous, you're not allowed to use what's going on with them, right?
Thing, right?
But like a private person, you're not allowed to use their image.
The public people can.
Right, but who determines the public?
I don't know.
And not the private. You know what I mean?
I guess because like if you think of like a paparazzi thing or whatever, like they're going out in public.
But like taking a picture of someone famous's kid.
But that's what I don't understand, because like I think it's at least a California law. I don't know if it's national, but you can't record somebody without their permission. So I don't understand.
Unless,
how you
of course, you put them on speakerphone. You tell them they're on speakerphone, because once you're on speakerphone, you lose.
You can be recorded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've been to court, and that's been a thing before. Anyhow.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What were you wearing on your head when you come in to Tribeca Prep after this, the first time you see
A flower
her?
pot.
Yeah. Very good, Jen.
I'm glad I answered my own trivia. Yeah, this was very much the animate object on a headband.
Yeah, there was definitely a theme of doing that.
We were gluing a lot of things on headbands in this episode.
That was all wardrobe, the head stuff. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, it was me in my car.
Well, I meant, or props.
No, it was wardrobe. So Alex agrees that she's gonna give her Harper or H.G. Darling one of her books a chance.
Right.
And then she picks up the book, opens it, and I love the students in Tribeca Prep going, oh, and then you just hear this voice going, she opened a book.
Yeah.
Like it was really funny.
I don't know if they had an extra, or not an extra,
No, it
but
was recorded.
one per. It was
voiceover.
It was just someone who wasn't there. It was like, Alex Russo's picking up a book.
Yeah. I really liked it. It was good. So meanwhile, so Alex reads the book. She decides to give Harper, but Harper's in the lair angrily reading her note that she's written to Max that she wants Alex to find. Max is fixing a plate. He's gluing it together, and then
breaks it again.
Well, no, Harper gets upset or starts to hurry because she wants Alex to find the note. She doesn't want to give it to her, talk to her, see her.
Right.
Because high school. And then freaks out and makes Max drop the plate again. So yeah. Harper uses the IPP to escape.
The what?
The IPP.
Do you want to go to the
I
bathroom?
boo boo. I boo boo. Hey boo boo. It reminds me of Joey
Hey,
from
boo
Friends.
boo. What does he say?
Well, because remember Phoebe's trying to teach him French, and like she'll give it to him word by word, and he'll get all the words right, and he goes, "Hey boo boo!" Like at the end. It's such a good bit.
I don't remember that.
I'll send it to
God,
you.
Matt
It's really funny.
LeBlanc was so funny.
He's funny, dude.
And in the beginning, when I first watched that, I was like, not as impressed.
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch it, it's not easy to be so stupid, you know. And Jake did that really well.
Yeah.
When
Jake
there's a fine line between playing dumb.
Well, you can't.
And then right.
It's one of those things where it doesn't work. You have to just find that sweet spot of being like innocent and genuine.
And sincere.
Sincere
and
sincere is the
being
best way to
aware.
put it. Sincere is the best way to put it. Okay, so she uses the IPP, to escape and actually ends up in the Great Pyramids of Egypt. They follow her and meet a tour guide who tells them that she went to PP and the Grand Canyon. So she IPP'd to the Grand Canyon. Alex yells to her to meet her back at the house. While there, Alex tells her that if Harper wants to, she can write stories about their wizarding adventures together. Harper accepts, and while hugging, Alex sees future Harper mouthing "thank you" very poorly. And Alex tells Harper that she really needs to practice mouthing words to people.
Did you watch it close? Could you see I couldn't
I
get
could
what
not
she
tell
was.
what she was trying to say.
Yeah.
I don't think she was saying anything. I think she was
You
trying
think she
to
was
just
doing it on
mouth.
purpose,
Yeah,
not so that people couldn't
Yes.
see it? That probably was a whole discussion.
Probably.
You know?
So Alex, future Harper gives it to, wait, hold on. Oh, got lost. I lost my place. Alex tells Harper she needs to work on practicing words to other people. Harper then turns to see a great hat, which unknown to her is being worn by her future self. Very meta, very multiverse. Future Harper gives it to young Harper and says to consider it a loan. When current Harper is confused as to how she'll get it back to this stranger, Alex says that she'll return it to her. The episode ends on a warm note with Alex saying that the stranger is a very old friend.
Yeah, that is
Warm and
sweet. Wait, can we go back to the Egypt for a second?
Yeah.
When you're down in the cavern and she, it's saying, what?
That was in the Grand
hear
Canyon.
You. Oh, that you went to the Grand Canyon.
They did
then.
Egypt first and the Grand Canyon.
Okay, got it. And then, but it was a good joke when
was a good gag.
you couldn't hear anything, and at the very end you could hear her no problem.
Yeah.
Which was
Well,
very
but it's like I have this with old people all the time at the hospital. We'll have these like little old biddies come in, and they're like, "I'm deaf," and you're like, "Okay, that's fine. Like that happens to people." But then you'll say something, and she'll go, "What do you want from me?" Like it's literally it becomes a gag where you're just like, "Which ear is the good ear?" Ha! Well, okay, what? And then you'll say stuff, but then they'll start to respond to it, and they'll be like, "I can't hear you," when they don't want to talk to you or they like don't want to respond.
Right.
And you're like, "But you're responding to what I'm saying." So you're anyway.
I have a family friend who, without his hearing aids, he just talks. I'm like, oh no, he doesn't have his hearing aids.
Yeah, my grandpa turns his down when he doesn't want to talk to
and
people.
he just talks and if you add anything, it just is there. But but it must be interesting because you're in your own little world then,
Have you seen that? It's really cool. There's videos of like those cochlear implants where
The what?
Cochlear implants, like the cochlea in your ear. It's part of like what vibrates. I'm bastardizing it and oversimplifying it, but like it's a part of your ear that like helps you to hear.
Okay.
So they've developed these cochlear implants where, but they'll show videos of them. Like they put it in a kid and then they'll turn it on. They have to turn it on.
Oh, fuck.
And then you see a kid hearing his mom's
you're
voice
gonna
for
make
the
me
first
cry,
time.
Jen.
It's so sweet.
I've seen those. It's amazing. And they're looking around. And also, I think I've been told that in the beginning, when you can't hear and then you start hearing again, or for the first time, that it's hard to adjust that. You have to like, figure out kind of what noise and how to decipher
because
that.
imagine how overwhelming that would be, where it's just from every direction, from silence.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it sounds like when you can't hear, but like if you're deaf or have hearing loss, or to just go from very little to no sound to all of a sudden every sound and every beep and every hiss and wind and like all sorts of things, voices, and imagine going in a crowded room, how overwhelming that would be.
Of course. Well, now, I mean, the AI can directional, like if you're in a crowded restaurant, it can
Oh yeah.
hearing, I can make it so that I can
Isolate.
only hear you. Isolate, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Which is crazy. There's a video where a friend who now can hear goes to the door, online, and her friend answers and says hello, and she just falls down crying because she can hear her for the first time.
Yeah.
Any of those videos, I cry. I cry at a lot of stuff.
I love that about you, though. I do. I think it's such a nice quality. There's sometimes I'm either all or nothing. I think we talked about this before, but I'm either not crying at things I should be, and that's secondary
What's
to
something that makes you cry?
Oh, animal stuff every time. I'm on this side of TikTok that just wrecks me, where it's always like, they're going to be euthanized tomorrow. Don't you want to come get them? And it's just this little face. And you're like, I'll have all of them. I'll have all the dogs and the cats and the things. I'll have everybody. And then people will be called. But yeah, those ones get me. But also too, like there's times where, cause I have to like shove so much down at the hospital that there's times where, there's times where things really get to me. And I know that it's like a heavy, heavy thing when it like permeates.
You deal with,
That's a lot.
Transitioning people. That's a lot, on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That's not something that I can fathom, really.
I couldn't either. I couldn't either till I didn't have a choice.
On a lighter note.
I guess I do have a choice, but sorry. Yeah.
No, yes, you do have a choice. And one of your choices is to go and help. And part of helping in this situation is that you have to deal with that.
It's either, what'd you say? Or,
now,
yes.
The actual end of the episode.
The tag.
I think we broke the fourth wall one other time.
Yeah.
But this is, Selena says,
the first time,
hi, I'm Selena Gomez.
It's the first time any of us introduced ourselves as ourselves. So she was the first one to do that in this episode.
Got it.
But I think, we definitely, because Harper did that thing where she like ran towards the camera and screamed or ran away or whatever.
But I don't see it, but you didn't look into the camera.
No, I didn't do that.
So cut to, we're doing this episode and Rob Reiner is sitting in the audience.
He was your guest, right?
Well, no. But I know Rob and Carl Reiner, who has passed away, was amazing and was a family friend, and we were friends with the Reiners. And he was there with his daughter wanting to watch the show, and they were in the audience. And Peter Marietta said, hey, Rob Reiner's in the audience. And I was like, cool. And he goes, do you want to ask him to be in the show? And I was like, oh God. I have to go and be like, hey, I haven't seen you for a long time. How are you?
Yeah, so, can you do this for me?
And actually, Livia Reiner, Carl's granddaughter, not Rob's daughter, recently met up with just happenstance with DeStefano, my oldest daughter.
Cool. Yeah.
And then Livia said, my grandfather's like all alone, like hanging out, like he's so bored and this and that. And it was Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks would sit down and watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. And then it's like some old movie for years of their lives. Every night they would sit there. And so Livia was like, you should go over there. And I have a picture of us that night. And this was the last time I saw Carl. So Rob is there and I'm like, fuck it. Okay. So I went up to him and I was like, Rob, how you doing? It's so good to see you. This is great. I said, please feel free to say no, but would you like to be in the tag? Would you like to be in the end of the episode? And he was like, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. And I was like, oh,
and it was such a good bit too.
And so he went backstage and they, Peter Marietta obviously is a huge fan.
Like wrote it super quick.
Yeah. And they put it together and this was all impromptu, the very end.
Because all week Disney had been like, we really don't like that Alex doesn't read and we really don't like that she's not promoting reading. So this was their answer to that.
Right. This was a disclaimer.
This is like fake PSA.
Yeah, a public service announcement. Exactly. So Selena says, I'm Selena Gomez and, reading is a good thing. And she is pouring tea, which is so funny. It's like, this is what Selena Gomez does. She drinks tea.
And then she picks up like an exit sign.
Right. And she's like, this is how you, read this to exit. And then she holds up a thing that says poison.
Yeah.
And then, she introduces, like my friend, writer, producer, Rob Reiner, and he does the classic spit take, which is it's a very good one. It sprays big.
It was really good.
It goes straight out. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, this milk is expired. I should have read that,
But then at the very, very end, Selena repeats herself and goes, "Hi, I'm Selena Gomez," and they
that
went
she's
out to
reading
Guy.
and Guy Distad,
Yeah.
our first, is holding the cue cards.
Yeah, because he was our first AD who then went on to direct and who's now working on Beyond Wizards or Beyond Magic or whatever the hell it's
just
called.
the nicest guy
sequel.
ever, but also so he doesn't need attention, but he's in control of everything that happens there, you know. So it was really funny, and Rob Reiner was in an episode of Wizards, which is so great.
Yeah, we had so many great people. We had so many good people. Okay, so what aspect of your life would you want a fictional series to be written about?
What aspect of my life?
I mean, you've got a lot of different. We have our world traveler. We've got our cafe owner. We have our actor. We have our carpenter.
You
We
know
have
what? Dog Dad.
dog dad.
I really want to do a children's book about
should.
Tony. I'm going to. It's going to be called Two Peas and a Poo.
Oh.
Because that's what he does on his watch.
I
Two
pee-pee.
peas and a poo.
I pee-pee.
I pee-pee.
I two pee and a poo.
So yeah, the adventures of Tony DeLuise. His actual
you and
full
Yulia should
name
write that. That's really
is
cute.
Tony S. DeLuise the First.
What does
And
S stand?
S
Yeah.
stands for Stroppy, which was Yulia's dog when she was growing up. It was a dachshund too.
That's cute.
All right, so that's my fictional thing.
Yeah.
What would your fictional adventures be about, or what part of your life?
What would they be about? I mean, the nursing stories is a pretty easy one, but
what
also
about,
too.
What about like rock climbing? You do that, you know, that kind of thing.
It's still a newer thing in my life. I've only been doing it for less than a year now, so I haven't. We're building stories. We're building stories there. We're building stories. Maybe like some of the auditions and stuff too. When I was younger, because like back when you used to go in person, I had some weird ones. I had one where like they used to ask you to do these gnarly things. Like I remember one I had to like give birth on a floor in front of people.
Well, that's intense.
Yeah, and I think I was like 16 or something at the time. It was.
So you want to have a fictional story about you,
but all the weird audition
auditions.
adventures, all the weird audition stories. Because I also think too, like I can talk to a lot of my friends and like put it together.
I had a very odd audition, and I'll tell you this: Saban, who is the one who created the Power Rangers and everything, was doing a movie. I think it was called Black and White or something. It was some kind of futuristic thing. And they're like, he wants you to audition at his house.
Oh, I had some of those.
It was me and I don't know his name, Biff from Back to the Future. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
And one other person. We were waiting in his backyard and we went into the living room. It was this huge house. And I did my audition. And his fucking little kids were running around the house while I was auditioning. It was very weird.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I can't remember his name, but the Biff actor got it. Yeah.
No, I had one like that where I drove to, and again, I was like I was under 18.
You drove to someone's house, huh?
I drove to someone's house. I was under 18. I don't know where my mom was, but that or I was like freshly 18. But I drove to somebody's house. I waited in their living room and and then like walked into an office, like a home office, and auditioned in the home office and then left. And it was just it's just weird. There's something about like the professionalism or something that for me at least gets kind of eroded when you're at someone's home.
Yeah.
It just feels strange.
It is strange and odd. All right.
Anyway, on that note, don't go to auditions at people's houses.
I do want to say thank you to Rob Reiner for being a part of this
thank you,
and saying
Rob.
yes.
That was wonderful.
And thank you to you guys for watching. And cheers.
Cheers.